Hey, it looks like I'm live. Yes. Okay. Yay. I know this is a little bit longer than ish. Sorry. I told you guys it has to be ish with me. I'm never, ever, ever going to be right on time. Might as well forget it. But anyway, good evening. My name is Sheila Carreno. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love. This is what I refer to as an intuitive hangout session. And if you are drawn, let me know and I will pull a card for you. This is all about helping me to hone my inner listening skills so that I can hear myself. So today is Wednesday, December the 4th, 2024. I did do uh, an actual collective card reading this morning, and I'm feeling kind of drawn to do at least, let's see what the overall energy is for this evening. I see there's one person watching, but I don't know, that might be me. Let's see. Feeling the uh, Alchemy Elementals by Shaman Direct. This is going to be the overall energy for tonight. What would you have me know about the energy for this evening? What can we work with here? Good evening, Vanessa. I'm so glad that you could join. I'm really glad to see you, sweetie heart. I hope all is well. Oh, this one tried to come flying out. Ooh, sky, snow, star. Hmm. This actually, I don't know, it's giving Stargate, to be honest with you. Check that out. Looks very much like a portal. And here in North Carolina, we woke up to wow, and there's actually something in it that I didn't see a moment ago. Almost like something coming out of the portal towards us. I don't know if you can see that. Isn't that interesting? Let's see what the book has to say. For me, when I look at this card, it feels like a portal, absolutely like a portal. And there is something coming toward us out of this portal. And well, and if I, recall this morning's collective read, it was very much about, I'm going to go with expect the unexpected. Very interesting. Let's see. Sky, snow, star is on page 59, which that's a 5 numerologically, which is all about change, which we had this morning. That's kind of interesting. Again, very interesting. Okay, so oh my gosh, I'll put you on the list, Vanessa. You'll be the very first one. Okay, so uh the name of the game on this planet is evolution. I went to lunch with a longtime friend today, and we were speaking about that specifically. That is what we're moving through here on this planet, not only an evolution in consciousness, but I feel like we're going through an evolution of the physical vessel as well. Some have chosen that route, some did not. But I really do feel like that is at least a possibility, a plausibility, and the potential ooh, feels limitless when you think about it like that. So the name of the game on this planet is evolution. You, my dear, came here to evolve, not to be perfect, not to impress other people, and not to collect likes for your bikini selfies or your six-pack stomach situation. Well, thank goodness for that, because I wouldn't qualify under any of those circumstances. Earth is an evolutionary realm. What this means is that you need to get real with yourself, like really real. You cannot hide from your shadows or your issues. You must look within and get clear on what is and what isn't serving you. Oh my gosh, this is so true. As well as what it's time to shift and to let go of, to stubbornly cling to that which is no longer serving you, and to prevent you, no, sorry, and to pretend that it's all fine and pop rocks is a false means of achieving power. And babe, you're far too lit to settle for false power. Take some time out for introspection and self inquiry and acknowledge the triggers and the traumas that are ready to be transmuted. It doesn't have to be hard or painful or labor intensive. These aspects are simply inviting acknowledgement so that you can gracefully move on and reclaim the true power that is naturally yours. Wow. I really feel like that's that. Wow. And this feels like a huge, huge message for all of us, including myself, to really listen to. My nose is itching so much. Oh, of course, journey into it. You sure you don't want to join? Because you know you can. If you want, just let me know and I'll be happy to send you the link. Wow. Okay, so that is so awesome. To be honest with you, that is absolutely the case, I feel, for all of us. And there's, for me, there's really no other way. The only way out is through. The only way in is the way to go. The way in is the way to go. And what it said about self-inquiry, oh, that is invaluable. And actually, I mean, honestly, it's the only gig in town, let's put it that way, that really means anything. Okay, wow. Okay, so this is the overall energy that we're working with here this evening, which I'm not surprised because, especially with what I got for the collective this morning, that just seems like an exclamation point. Oh, or an interrobang. It also feels like that a little bit. Okay, Vanessa, I know you're still here. So you know the gig. Oh my gosh, I feel like, ah, ah, okay, what is there something that I'm not, is there something else that I'm to pay attention to? Because that seems pretty intense. Hmm, I'm not really getting anything. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and step into your field, okay, sweetie heart? Yes, I've got Vanessa's first and then Journey into it. And you guys, uh, if there's anyone new here, um, just let me know if you want a card and I'll put you on the list. And when I come to you, I will be stepping into your field. So make sure you're okay with that. Mm, nothing like a little clove. Cacao tea. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, Vanessa. Oh man. Please forgive me. I mean, I'm really, I don't know what this is about. Okay, wait a minute. Um, that is the side where the scar is. I'm wondering if it's trying to get my attention. Am I trying to be told? Huh. It doesn't look any different. That's one of my telltale signs that I've changed bodies again. I have a scar right underneath my nose here from when I was a kid. I'm one of those kids that got drug around with the merry-go-round on their face. My foot got stuck, you know. I'm part of the reason we don't have those anymore. And I have noticed from time to time when a timeline change has taken place that that's one of the telltale signs that I'm in a new body when that scar changes. So I don't know why I'm being directed to that because it actually doesn't look different, but my nose sort of feels different right there. And like I said, it feels a little odd. I'm so sorry. I've not had it react this way before. So I don't know what that's about specifically. Perhaps I'll learn later. Okay, Vanessa, I'm going to step into into your field now before I draw a card. I'm I'm noticing it's very imperceptible, but I have that rocking thing that wanted to start. Now, it's really kind of unfair because I do know that you and I, had a conversation on Monday. And generally, when I have a face to face with someone, there are keys and codes that become activated in both of our fields. Maybe that's what this is about. I'm having some interesting sensations on this side of my forehead, sort of this whole area. I'm is calling my attention to that whole area. Yeah, there's some pulsating going on the right side of my head and this ear. What does that mean, please? Okay, so now all of a sudden I'm kind of feeling like I wanted to do this. So I don't know if that's just shaking my head no, or if there's actually some kind of um, nervous system reaction. Okay. I'm not really getting anything specific. It feels a little bit I don't want to use the word chaotic because it's not chaotic. Um, but there is an awful lot of energy on this the whole right side of from my head down to about shoulders here. So, hmm, That's really all I'm getting. And it's not, it doesn't feel very clear what it's about. I feel as though there is something that because now I'm not having that issue with the nose anymore, and I'm wondering if there's something. Okay, so I did feel that you yourself are very intuitive. And I also feel as though there may be, um, like signs and synchronicities and things like that that are trying very hard to get your attention. And especially because of what was happening with my nose, I'm even wondering if your own guides are trying to get your attention. I'm getting a yes about that. I know that when we spoke, um, well, hello, Michael. Welcome. First time here. I hope you enjoy yourself. Oh, James Wickus is in the house. I love you, James. I'm telling you, I'm really looking forward to the time when we can, have some more dream space conversations, honey. Um, I'm feeling again to remind you, Vanessa, that because I think, if I'm not mistaken, we talked about your writing, just sitting to ask yourself questions, and then as if you're hearing the answer in your head, begin writing these out. Write the question for yourself and write the answer for yourself, but also allow yourself space to just allow writing to happen. It feels to me like there's a part of you that is trying desperately to get in touch with you. Um, I know what that I know, like I think I shared with you, I've shared with everyone what happened for me when I realized how desperate my own guidance was to get to me. And so, absolutely, Daryl, I will put you on the list. And Michael, just so you know, I am pulling cards for folks. So if you want a card, just let me know and I'll put you on the list. Um, And then I just make sure that you're still here when I get to you. And I really appreciate everyone showing up and helping me to hone my skills to hear me. Okay. Oh, PSL Tarot. I needed to hear that about the writing also. Okay, you're very welcome. I'll take account. I found out I had some DNA added while I was still in the womb. Well, that's interesting. Okay, James, I've got you down. My guides need to speak up loud and clear. And yes, I've started the writing. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Well, I'll tell you, I really thought for the longest time that I wasn't connected. We are all so we're so connected that we miss where we are connected all the time. Until we really, because I'm telling you, our attention is so divided. We are not practicing being present with ourselves. None of us really. Um, that's a big order. Oh, surrender to play. I felt to pull a surrender card for you, Vanessa. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. Well, honestly, that's really all I intend to do from here on out is play. Michael said, sure, I don't have any specific needs or questions. I also Don't take away from the folks that are always present when you're live. You showed up on my feed for the first time, must be a reason. Honestly, I feel the same way. I did make an announcement because I promised that I would, because I wasn't sure if I was coming here or not. So there was that. I am feeling to pull another card for you, Vanessa, so don't go anywhere just yet. Um, and Michael, if you want a card, sweetheart, we'll put you on here for a card. No worries. I I have after Vanessa, we have Crystal, then Daryl, then James, and that's it. So if you want one, just let me know. Okay. Oops. That's a whole pack. We don't need that. This is the Sufi Wisdom deck that wanted to come out for you, Vanessa. So we want a jumper for Vanessa, please. This one's trying to come out. Let's see. Dawn of love. Love is rising on the horizon of your life. Wow, this looks very much like the last time I pulled a card from here. Ooh, I also feel similarities here with the overall energy card, too. That's very interesting. Okay. Michael said, oh, okay, I will definitely do that. James said, and we are so much bigger than, oh, you are so right, so much bigger than this vessel that we have that we can't, honestly, um, I know that I've been hovering around up here. I haven't fully pulled all of me into me, which is why my mantra for the last several years has been more of me into me, because I am aware of that. Okay, here we go. This really does look very much like multidimensional to me, like wormhole kind of vibe to it there. Okay. Dawn of love. Love is rising on the horizon of your life. I shall perfume my breath with the scent of love and flow like the wind to the kingdom of the beloved. Alas, my life is gone to waste without ecstasy and love. Enough of idleness. I shall finally do some valued deeds. All credits I gained from my fame and faith I shall pour as the dust to pave the path of love. That's a quote from Hafiz, which I'm guessing is a Sufi. Not really heard him except for this deck. Rumi's the only Sufi I ever knew of. And I really don't know that much about him, but it's my favorite deck. The dark night of the soul is gone. Awaken to the arrival of a bright new love on the horizon of your life. Open your arms and spread the light of joy everywhere around you. You have not been placed on earth just to spend your time planning for the future or reviewing memories of the past. Now is the time to enrich your life. This is the real work Hafiz is so graciously offering you. Dear one, make the journey of your life more meaningful by setting your direction to focus on love. When you take this on willingly, it becomes a work of grace and brings excitement your way. Even pain becomes easier to handle. Be assured that love increases value in what you do and enhances who you truly are. When you carry the treasure of love, you gain its elegance in everything you do in life. Now, I want to be very clear here. The word love means different things to different people. And I really truly feel like this is speaking in terms of unconditional love, which honestly, even I am not really clear exactly because, we all think that we know what unconditional love means until you learn that unconditional means having to stand by and watch something that might be unpleasant to watch, but it is that being's path and their chosen path to walk that path. And that is included in that as well. And so it's that love is a really, to me, it is not a simple thing at all to understand. Um, because, like I said, it means so many different things to different people. This feels like, for you in particular, Vanessa, first falling in love with yourself, loving you enough to practice radical self care and getting to the layers that are beneath there, if you will. I hope that was helpful for you, my sweetheart. Please know that I'm here for you always. All you have to do is just reach out. James said, I've been becoming aware of being conscious in multiple places and dimensions at the same time. Again, I know that's why I love having you come on and chat with us about your experiences, your night travels. Michael said, excellent point about unconditional love. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've had many conversations about it, and I can intellectually grasp that is what it is. Unconditional love leaves nothing and no one, no being out. Um, Even that we might label evil, horrific, that's not left out of unconditional love. If it is, well, maybe we need to discuss the word unconditional. You know what I mean? And Michael, you're new here, so let me share with you that I'm very well aware myself that we might all speak English in this room at least, but I speak Sheila English. You speak Michael English. Vanessa speaks Vanessa English. James speaks James English. Connotation is so much different than denotation. And I stole that from Jordan Peterson because I heard him talk about it last week. And for me, he's absolutely correct. Yes, Vanessa said, too much love to everyone else and not enough self-care. Yes. Well, you know, and don't be real hard on yourself for not having done that because honestly, we learn that too. That's something that we're programmed and conditioned with from birth, not to trust ourselves, not to you know take in radical self-care. Some people think you're conceited or selfish or whatever. And so, okay, again, that's certainly not very loving either, is it? To say that about somebody who needs to care for themselves. Okay, journey into it, my darling Crystal, are you still with me? I know that you are. So welcome everyone. Oh, we jumped up to 12 folks just as I looked up. If you feel drawn to have a card, just let me know. And those of you that are here that stick around, please help me keep an eye out because there's been a couple of times where someone will ask for a card and I miss it in the comments. So I would love it if one of you guys that kind of hang around would help keep me straight on that. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, I saw you said yes. I'm going to step into your field, Crystal. I have a little headache starting to tinge. Um, I'm sure it's probably because I pulled my hair back. Ooh, I just got a really interesting, uh, the right side of my neck back here in the back. I think you might have some stuck energy. This is something that I know I've experienced, and it may be me, but it was really very interesting how that happened. Uh, so I don't know if you're experiencing something uh, right, and it's right where the neck meets into this muscle shoulder blade. And I know sometimes for me that gets really, too drawn up. And so if you have if one of the kids are around that, or your sister could, help release that for you, that would be awesome. For some reason, I'm seeing, oh yeah, now I'm getting the sensation too. I'm seeing that blue electric like lightning that I experienced this a while back, and my own inner guidance was that it had something to do with the two halves of the brain connecting to work uh, a little differently than we've always used our brains in the past. And please don't ask me to explain that because I don't think I could, but I'm being shown the that I don't have any other word for it, but looks like blue lightning. And it's going back and forth in little zigzag patterns. Now, again, that could be me and not have anything at all to do with you. Well, and I've said this to you before, Crystal, that I felt like you were, and maybe still are, there's an emptying that um, has been going on. Um, and I kind of feel like if what has been going on with me is any indication, when it starts, when the filling or the whatever it is to take place of because of that emptying, it's going to be fast and furious. And so take advantage of these moments of now when it feels like there's nothing. I don't know if that made any sense, but Michael said, I think about unconditional love being free from the conditions I don't want to see occurring. That still means I've placed conditions on it. Thus, it's not unconditional. Hey, you are so welcome. Because you know what? If we don't have these kinds of conversations, as one of the reasons that my original channel was called Conscious Conversation Central, just being open to having a conscious conversation and allowing it to be whatever it is or shows itself to be, for me, has always been so helpful. Not putting, I don't know, meaning on everything. Now, for some reason, my hand went straight for the divine animal oracle crystal. So and by the way, Crystal, either this coming up week or week after, I need to make arrangements to come down and visit you. So be thinking about which day would be better for you, so that I can make a trip down to visit you and collect those items. And also, I want to direct everyone. Crystal has several things. Now, how are you going to do that? Can I help you with that in any way? Because she's got some stuff that, if you want to purchase gifts for folks, Crystal has a lot of things. She's a single mom, and she uses her metaphysical gifts to support her family. And she has some beautiful things for everyone to check out. And I'm right now. I'm going to direct everyone to. I can believe this, but very interesting dog came out. And I know you have a dog, so isn't that interesting? Companionship is the key word there. Wow. Okay. But oh my gosh, Crystal, this is card number 41. Is that a 41? Yep, 41. So again, that's a five numerologically, all about change. But look at all the birds in that. Oh my goodness. Yes, she does. Go to newlightstreaming.love. Who knew you could have a website like that? Yes. So please do go to www.newlightstreaming.love. She has t-shirts and necklaces, and you do still have the t-shirts, yeah? Oh wow, it lets you. That is so cool. Normally we can't get websites to be put in there. I That is so awesome. I'm so glad that worked. Yes, Michael, she's right. Journey Intuitive is one of the collaborators that this channel belongs to myself, Crystal, who is Journey Intuit and Beyond. That's another way to identify her. And let me just say, y'all, you want a tarot reading? She's the gal. She's my tarot reader. Crystal is the one I go to for my shadow work. And let me just say, she's good at it. She's very good at it. So I'm telling you, I would not be where I am right now if it wasn't for her and my housemate, Lisa Flamino Rush. Okay, Crystal. So, and I really, because of all the birds in here, I feel as though maybe the Morrigan wants more attention, or the Lilith, that whole dark feminine thing that you and I both have aspects of. I'm wondering if this isn't a sign that there's something there. I know there's some more there for me. I'm just not really clear what. Krista said, honestly, I'm not sure what all I actually have up. It's been a while since I messed with it. Okay. Well, and Michael, if you go there and you don't see something that you like, are you going to also put pictures up on, because I saw you had a lot of the earrings that you were showing folks. I mean, she's got a lot of stuff that and artwork, and I just, we need to do another conversation that we about your intuitive artwork, story of my life, dark feminine all the time calling. Well, yes, honey. Yes, honey. But it's a good thing, so don't be upset. Okay, so dog, companionship. Be a firm and ethical friend. Well, I find you to be that. That's for certain. Um, Seek loyalty and honesty in your friendships. Our friendships should be supportive, not competitive. There is a difference between solitude and loneliness. Something hidden will be illuminated. We all have aspects of ourselves that we do not appreciate or like. learn to change these things if they do not benefit us or lovingly accept them. The great Greek goddess Hecate, another dark feminine, I have to say, was a goddess of the underworld and paradoxically a torchbearer who brought the light to this same darkness, illuminating the darkest pathways. This magnetic goddess invited people to travel the shadows with her, but under her wise guidance. Okay, I can't even with this card and you, girl. I just cannot because that is you. Hecate was referred to as Skylactin. I think that's it, Skylactin, the lady of the dogs, and Philoskylax, dog loving. It was said that you could hear the howls of the dogs of the goddess before she appeared to you. And you know what? That nose itching was for you because it's back. Oh my word. And it's ah with a vengeance. I mean, oh my word. Okay, so this is really important for both of us. And that's the only thing that I can get from this for me right now. Hmm. It was said that you could hear the howls of the dogs of the goddess before she appeared to you, and all dogs that passed away went to her to be cared for. Some say she was a lonely goddess, passing through the underworld as she did, while others say that with her dogs for company she could never be lonely. The goddess Artemis also had hunting dogs by her side everywhere she went. Cerberus was the great hound that guarded the gates of the underworld for his master. Hades and dogs are one of the 12 signs of the Chinese zodiac. Human association with dogs is perhaps the most ancient story of companionship and interspecies friendship that exists. The oldest archaeological record of a dog being buried with a human is almost 15,000 years old. Wow. In fact, the long relationship with dogs has shaped not just their character, but their genes. And this is true. I just recently saw an article talking about how dogs are evolving. And I felt like that's a puzzle piece. They're starting to tell us that they know that we are evolving, that that's what is happening on the planet right now. Wow. Um, the current thinking is that all dogs started out as wolves, the friendly wolves, those willing to get close to human settlements for food, became increasingly more tolerant and friendly, then evolved over thousands of years and domesticated into dogs we know and love today. The wolves that were unfriendly and least tolerant of humans remained wolves. If you have ever seen the look a wild wolf gives you, a look of utter disregard, you'll understand there is no comparison between a wolf and the loyal and doting dog you have in your home. Dogs assist us in so many ways. They are a part of the family as a friendly companion, but we also use them for protection in the military, as assistants and service dogs, and to guide our way if we are blind. Because of their incredible sense of smell, dogs have been used to assist in hunting, to find lost people, and to detect drugs. There are dogs that can smell the chemical changes in the blood of people who are diabetic, dogs that warn their owners of epileptic seizures, and dogs that can smell cancer in urine. There is very little that dogs do not help us with, and we owe them our respect and our loving companionship. Dog magic is loving and warm and protective. If you are feeling lonely or you wish to attract good, loyal friends, you can call upon dog energy to help. If you have been betrayed by someone or you feel mistrusted, call upon this energy to heal you. Three-headed, there's some symbols here. Three-headed dog, black dog, dog running alongside a person. Wow. This is so interesting to me that this come out in just the way that it did. Wow. I hope that was helpful for you, my love. I I I really do feel like when there is going to come a time, and it may be very soon. It's just right now, it's a matter of timing. But when it starts, you're going to say, "Oh yeah, I remember when I could use some of that downtime about now." I just purchased the Dragon Energy course. Oh, awesome. Well, you're absolutely welcome, because that's I'm wait a minute, Dragon Energy. Wait a minute. Is that something I don't even know about, Crystal? We might have to have another conscious conversation real soon, my love, just to talk about all the stuff you have on the website. Okay, Daryl, it's your turn. Are you still in the house, love? Well, let me just say, Michael, you can't go wrong with anything that Crystal has put up there. I'll tell you that. It's on Udemy. There was a link in the website. Well, that's all Crystal's doing. Let me just say, I'm just a not very tech savvy old lady. So Crystal's, I have to give her all the props for what you're seeing there. Okay, Daryl, awesome. Okay, so if you're ready, I'm going to step into your field. I want to drink my stuff before it gets too cold. I feel very calm in your field. Like it's almost like I want to say I'm hearing something off to my left. I don't, there's nothing in my room that's, you know, but it's almost like muffled voices. And I don't have any idea why to the left seems or feels significant. I I'm getting the fish bobber type energy. So there's, for me that means your field isn't really active at the moment, but this muffled, it's like I'm wondering if you're having some experiences where you think you're hearing something, but you're not quite sure if you're actually hearing something. I know for me, there are times when I feel as though I'm hearing a party or some like music or something. I'll be in the house on my own, and I now have come to the conclusions that I might be hearing other realms or something because there's nothing going on, right? Nothing that I can point to. So I'm just if you're not experiencing that now, perhaps that's something that you may experience. And please trust me when I say that that does not necessarily mean that you are nuts, because I know for a while I was trying to pinpoint where that was from, and I now know that I just feel with all of me that I'm just hearing things from another realm. And it's not real clear. You know what I mean? Kiki, I hope I said that right. Kiki Law, welcome. Glad you could join us this evening. Um, so I don't know if that's something that you are experiencing. Ooh, the fairies want to come out for you. Um, but I'd love to know if you have or if not now when you do. Um, I think, ooh, you had the fairy godmother come out. I love this. Oh, and also the maiden was right behind it. Okay, that's very interesting to have these two come out together. The maiden is card number 14. That's a 5 numerologically. Again, all about change. And the fairy godmother. I just, it's hard for me to say her name because when I do, my phone gets a little, she sort of wakes up because her name is Sayri. Okay, yeah. I have to be sure and pronounce it correctly. If I don't, I have a space heater to my left. Okay, well, weirder things have happened. Maybe that's it, but it seemed pretty definite that it was muffled voices. So that's really interesting. Um, hmm. Okay, so Siri is card number 25. That's a 7 numerologically, and that's all about, for me, that's a divine number. I I know that there are, different connotations of numbers and whatnot, but I really sort of go with what I feel about the number or about the card. Long time ago, I used to hear that. Okay. Well, don't be surprised if you start hearing, and maybe it means that you're going to start hearing it more clearly. If you've already been hearing muffled things, then perhaps you'll start hearing it more. Well, and what's so interesting is the key words for this card are gifts, talents, grace, helpful lessons. One morning recently, I was having breakfast at the local cafe, and my favorite waitress, Peggy, stopped by my table and asked what I was working on. I showed her my scribbled in copy of Good Fairies, Bad Fairies, and explained that I was, quote, choosing the cards for an oracle deck. Of course, the fairies were choosing them, but I didn't necessarily want to explain that to the whole cafe. Peggy had been having a bad morning with difficult customers, and she had reached the stress point where she was dropping and spilling things, which only made matters worse. I encouraged her to pause for a bit, since the cafe wasn't really busy, and take a look at the fairy pictures. She thought she couldn't, but I employed the piper's wiles of friendly coaxing, and she took a little time out to look. When Peggy got to the page of the fairy godmother, she stopped and smiled. Oh, yes, she must be in the deck. Definitely she must. The longer that Peggy looked at her, the bigger her smile grew, and the more insistent she was that I include Sari in the deck. When she went back to work, I noticed that she still had a little smile on her face and her whole energy had changed. Things were not jumping out of her hands any longer either. This is how Sari, the fairy godmother, works. She gives us grace to help us along our way. It might be a little touch of fairy dust to lift a mood. It might be a conspicuous miracle. It might be anything in between. She protects us from the ill will and plain stupidity of others and from our own mistakes. She untangles the snarls in our psyches and bestows gifts upon us, whatever she feels we need. Sometimes she gives us choices when we thought we had none. Grace is the good fortune we get from the universe, even when we don't deserve it. In fact, deserving or not deserving is not the issue. We are, and therefore we are loved. It's that simple. Sari, the fairy godmother, no, not you. See, I knew it. My phone thought I was talking to it. Hmm, the fairy godmother is a giver of grace and occasionally, quite often, in fact, of useful lessons. She tries not to interfere with our learning processes, but she adds that little touch of fairy grace that helps us to learn a little faster sometimes. Quite often, she acts in our lives through the hands and hearts of others. The fairy godmother is the only one to wear a crown of stars, flowers, and branches, which says a lot about her. Luckily, each of us has a fairy godmother to provide the extras that our guardian angels are often too busy to think about. Fairy godmothers in general are well known for their love of parties. Don't forget to invite them to your festivities and special occasions. The fairy godmother glows through us as we perform loving and appropriate kindnesses for others and develop our capacity for unconditional love. Sari, okay, yeah, offers last minute rescues. When she turns up in our readings, good things may well be happening that we don't think we deserve or that we do deserve but haven't thought to ask for. Almost imperceptibly, she teaches us about giving and receiving unconditionally, helping us to open our hearts to love and acceptance. She sometimes showers us with abundance. Keep an eye out for an unexpected good fortune, especially when you thought you saw bad luck headed your way. Remember to say thank you by passing a kindness on to someone else. Practice a little fairy godmothering yourself and see how enjoyable it is. Part of the fun is to do it so that the recipient doesn't know where the gift came from. Wow, okay. Let's see what the maiden has in store for you here. Card number 14. I really do feel like with the idea of the entire planet evolving, that each one of us will move through different stages of evolution. We're all on our own individual quest, whether we've actually accepted that and actively moved towards it is each person's choice, right? But I know that ever since I really am approaching my life that way, um, you know, digging into the who and what I actually am, apart from human, which is only a small sliver of who we are. My life has been, I don't know what other way to say it, but just even in the like worst moments, so much fun. Trust me, I lived for 12 years at at death's door, bedridden, housebound, all that kind of stuff. Nothing can compare to what I've been moving towards in these last, 8, 9 years here. So the key words for the maiden is auspicious beginnings, birth, growth, joy, hope, From her crown of light to her star-jeweled toes, the maiden is pure joy. She is the face of the force that generates growth throughout all the worlds. When she smiles, troubles melt. Where she dances, flowers spring from the ground and burst into bloom. It is from the maiden that the pixies learned the dance that keeps the other world turning, and probably our world too, for that matter. She is newly born every morn, and she carols her plangent song of growth for all beings in all the worlds. She sees the magic and the light in everything and takes endless delight in it. Yet, even though the maiden is so wonderful and powerful, she is a child and needs to be cared for, nurtured, and cherished. When she takes the form of a flower, someone must see that she gets enough water and sun. Whenever we look after something new or young, we are caring for the maiden, whether she is in the form of a blossom, a sapling, a baby, or a new idea. She, in turn, is likely to switch between joyfully and gratefully receiving such nurturing and insisting on an independence that she really isn't ready for yet. She knows deep within herself what she needs to do and become, and she moves toward this with the directness of a child. The maiden also has the simplicity and curiosity of a child. Seeing with unclouded eyes, she has an openness to life, love, new things, and new experiences. Every moment with her is an adventure filled with playfulness and hope. Innocent, she is awakening to and learning about the world. Much of her learning comes with laughter and silly jokes, and she trusts what life gives her. Every time we allow ourselves to be filled with joy, we become more like the maiden. The maiden signifies new beginnings and growth. You couldn't ask for a more auspicious card than this if you are beginning something new. Spontaneity, joy, growth, exhilaration, and promise for the future are signified here. We must note also that in the early stages of any process, there is vulnerability and a need for protection, shelter, and guidance. But there is also a magical impetus toward burgeoning growth. Trust the process, but take care of the details as well. The maiden is also the inner child who needs to be under the supervision of a competent inner adult in order for her to feel secure and loved. She is not happy when we spoil her. Consider what is growing in your life. Make a list of your hopes, dreams, and plans. Look for the growth within you and think about how you can cherish and nurture that. Bless the growth you see around you. And when I was reading that about make a list of your hopes and dreams and plans, but also for me, there's also a bit of caution in that. I don't want to attach a specific outcome to any of what I might like to experience. And I'll tell you why. Because then we've sort of put a limitation. We've told the universe that it must be this way and only this way. And then that doesn't free up the universe to deliver it. And I now see where that actually takes much longer to materialize or manifest, because if indeed we have free will everything has to be just so. There's like arrangements that have to be made in order for things to be just so. You know what I mean? So I don't know if, if that was helpful at all, but thank you for allowing me to read for you, Daryl. I know that did I get to read for you before, or was it that I was going to, and I don't know why I'm feeling like there was a time where I was meant to, but I couldn't. And I know that you didn't get to come and join us that night for the conversation that we had after an intuitive hangout. Jonathan Skinner in the house and Astro Gardens. Andrew, I'm so glad you're here. That's so lovely. We still have to do a conversation, my love. Whenever you're ready, the accidental astrologer in the house, man. Y'all go to astrogardens.com and take a read of. You're still doing it at astrogardens.com, yes? Or are you fully on Substack now? What's the sitch with that? Jonathan Skinner. I hope y'all have been able to take a listen to the conversation that Jonathan Skinner and I had. You can find it on the channel here. It was quite a conversation. Oh, and that was so sweet of you too, Daryl. I really appreciate that. Okay, James, I see that you did answer, so I know that you're here still. So I'm getting ready to step into your field now, love. Oh, that's okay, Daryl. I understood what you were saying. Okay, I'm gonna step into your field now. Yeah, as I stepped into your field, I got an immediate vortexing of energy. And I know that you've been moving through a very particular situation, but there's like, it's a huge vortex. It's almost like, hmm, I'm getting, Wizard of Oz tornado type sitch. And again, that's kind of unfair because I do know what you're moving through and what you are sorting through is another good way of putting that. And you know what? For some reason, in this moment of now, I'm feeling to say, if it's too much, there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, we got to back this off some. Because I honestly feel as though there are a lot of things that we do have power over. And even though we may think we don't, um, because once something enters into your field, this is the way I hold it. If it enters my game, I have power over it. Pure and simple. And I know that not everybody feels that way, and that's cool. But I'm not sure if that would be helpful or not. Um, but it does feel, and I won't say chaotic because it I'm not getting, I mean, you would think it would be chaotic, but I'm also kind of seeing you like in the middle of that, Wizard of Oz type tornado situation, like because I was flashed Dorothy looking out the door, and she was just fine. So I'm not quite sure what to make of that specifically. Well, I got to get out of your field though, because if I step out of that, then I'm kind of going around in circles. I also found out that at an early age went through some horrendous training at Montauk. Like I said, there is so much, and as those memories uh, keep coming back for you, just know too, James, I'm here for you. When you're ready for that BQH, we will handle that. So you just let me know, okay, love? Vortex. Oh, wow. Okay, that's very interesting. Again, I don't know if you were here for the overall energy card that I pulled. And honestly, I at first when I pulled it, I didn't see this, but you can clearly see there's something very interesting coming out of that portal. So, very interesting. Okay, so you know what? Yes, the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle wants to come out for you, which I don't think this has ever come out for you before, which is kind of interesting given that you are uh, such a prolific dreamer, the night traveler for sure. You know, I don't think that have I ever pulled from this card for you, from this deck for you before, James? It's called the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle. I don't recall ever having pulled from this deck for you. So we want a jumper for James, please. Ooh, okay. Number 12, say yes to your higher calling. Be a human with an exclamation mark. Oh my, okay. Well, that's quite interesting there. And even though there's not any red in this, I'm really feeling Azoth energy, what I refer to as Azoth energy in this. That's a combination of fire and water coming together. And 12 is a three numerologically, which is all about the Trinity, which is in the way that my guidance keeps showing it to me. And it may not be that all of us are moving into that, but I'm being shown that um, moving from duality into triality, where instead of good or bad, light or dark, it's all is and, which is, the whole thing about unconditional love, right? So say yes to your higher calling, be a human exclamation mark. The big question is whether you are going to be able to say a hearty yes to your adventure. That's a quote by Joseph Campbell. The message: pack lightly, bring only the most essential so you can be free to embrace each new moment with wide open arms, heart, mind, body, and soul. Life is a conveyor belt of never ending blessings, and you can say yes to it all. Then, when it is time for you to release and move on, you can do so with pleasure and gratitude. Deeply appreciate all your belongings, yet recognize that you aren't intrinsically attached to them. Appreciate all the experiences and defining moments displayed in your personal halls of fame and shame, but also know they are not who you are. Release them willingly to make room for new experiences. Feel the butterflies and sensations of love well up within you, and trust that saying yes to the beckoning winds will lead you to the perfect people, places, and situations for your maximum soul growth. You are ready. The dream symbol here is travel, a journey. Dreams of travel or of being on a journey signify a change or need for awareness of your life direction. Remain open to the unlimited possibilities that lie ahead. Your highest destiny is calling, and it may be taking you to places within your body, mind, and soul that you never knew existed. This mantra here says, I trust my yes to lead me to the perfect people, places, and opportunities. Well, you've had quite a bit of that already, so that's very interesting. Um, I have been definitely stepping more into it. Astro Gardens said you pulled a song, by the way, James, as soon as you started. Oh, you have to tell us what it is, Astro Gardens, which is Andrew. James said, yes, I am working on getting total recall to what happened to me and to the abilities that I learned then. Well, and I know that you will get them. And when you're ready, I'm here for you at any time. Okay, sweetheart. I hope that was helpful for you. And I feel like that couldn't have been a more perfect card for you. Wow. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. Did I miss anybody? Because I'm on my last card now. I'm going to read for Michael, and then unless I've missed somebody, I'm trying to go back through here. I don't. Oh, Michael, just Michael said, "I'm sorry I chat too much." No, nobody said that. That's what this is about. Don't worry about that kind of thing. Okay, James. And let me know, James, whenever you're ready, sweetheart. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. Listen, you guys are thanking me, but I actually am very grateful to you because every time don't don't get it twisted. This really is helping me. You guys are helping me get comfortable with myself, helping me hear myself and be confident enough to just give you what I get. And so I'm so very grateful for your time. Take and your kindness to actually ask me for a card. Because I'll tell you something else too. Any and every card I read here also has something for me in it. That last card that I pulled for James, I so felt that for myself too. Okay, so anytime I read, there's something for both me and the person I'm reading for. So I'm just so very grateful to all of you guys and your time. Okay, Michael, I'm getting ready to step into your field now. Let me get another swig of this rapidly cooling. I really am going to have to see about getting one of those cup warmer things. Man, they have them I don't know, somebody somewhere has lost their mind putting a cup and a warming plate together and trying to sell it to people for almost $100. I'm sorry. I don't think, and I've been asking folks and nobody's answered me about this, but I think I could probably use a candle warmer, couldn't I? Because I could probably get one of those at a thrift store for $5. I'm not spending $90 on some fancy get up just to keep my coffee warm. I mean, I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's nice for folks that have that kind of do re mi, but I'm not one of them. And they have them at Walmart for less than $8. Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to go check that out because I looked on Amazon. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't need it that bad. I'll just tell you that. Okay, so they're in the kitchen section. Okay, thank you for that. I actually was there today, darn it. I wish I'd have thought about that. But that's okay. I still have $30 I have to spend it before the end of the month too. Oh, you just bought two for candle warmers. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so Now, the minute I step into your field, I all of a sudden want to do this. So that's interesting. What does this mean exactly? Okay. So I've had a couple of experiences where my inner guidance has told me that what I've experienced is I had one time where I was told that I was experiencing a time quake, and I felt as though there were other instances of me in timelines that are lateral to me, meaning other instances of Sheila, not in a different dimension or density or like I know the commander is far in the future. I know that the fairy couple that uh, I'm somehow a part of is in a completely separate realm, but this is like lateral existences, if that makes any sense. So when I started feeling like this, I feel as though not and I'm not sure if folks feel this when it happens. I know I did. I thought we were having an actual here in North Carolina when they had that earthquake in Washington, D.C. I felt it in this house. It was almost imperceptible, but I felt it. And so that was several years ago when that happened. And about sometime last year or year before, I can't exactly remember. It's really become a timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly kind of thing. But I was sitting on the toilet, a little TMI for you, and I thought we were having an earthquake again. And I asked my inner guidance, and what I got was time quake. And I had this very real feeling of different aspects joining me here because it actually made me go like this. Right. So I don't know if that's something that you've experienced or and you maybe didn't have the words for or something like that. Or and if you've not experienced it, perhaps you will. And now, because I've said this, you will either understand it when it happens or it will be called to your attention. Yeah, that's the only thing I can get about that. Okay, so wow. I didn't even have to ask what deck. The Starman deck wanted to come out for you. Okay, you said yes, that makes sense. So you have experienced that or you I'm just wondering. Oh, you're feeling it now. Oh, okay. Well, wow. I'm always amazed when it's that immediate. Like the time I felt Kevin sitting in the bathtub and in the hot tub. That's so it always amazes me. It's so cool. All right. Well, cool. I'm really glad. For me, that's always a good thing, when because it means that I'm prime, if you know what I mean. It's like there are other existences. And as those existences wrap up, they join me here. I don't know if that makes sense, but okay. Oops. Wow. Okay. Let's see. What do we got? Ooh, temperance. Temperance is the card of Sagittarius, and I'm not quite sure why I felt to tell you that, but it is. It's a major arcana card, and I haven't had this card. Oh, wow. Okay. So, to me, this really, wow, this really shows what I just said in many ways to me. I mean, here's some other existences coming in, but there's an I here. So there's also, and I feel like this is happening for all of us. There's data coming from the sun interacting with the earth, and we are all receiving codes for this evolutionary jump that facilitates it. Wow. And there's lots of Azoth energy in this for me. Wow, this is just so interesting to me, just the artwork on its own. I'm kind of wondering if you've had any of if you were here earlier when I was speaking to Crystal about the blue lightning in the two hemispheres of the brain. I don't know if this is fact or if it would be physical or if it's just metaphoric. But there's something about our both sides, the hemispheres of our brain connecting so that they communicate better, they act more like one situation. And for some reason, this up here is calling that to my attention. So I don't know. I need to know that I'm not crazy. You've given me the answer to that. Well, we're all just a little mad here, but that's okay. In my book, that is beyond spot on. I know what it means specific for why you showed up in my feed tonight. I recently received a new kind of reading that is beyond anything I've ever seen or felt. Oh, so awesome. And if you want to come and talk to me about it, oh, I would love that. I would love that so much. Yes, for me, it's not blue, more whitish. Cool. Awesome. Man, I would love to hear more about that, Michael, if you were willing. And if you are, reach out to me with some day and times that you would be available that would work best for you at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. Boy, would I love that. Let's see, that's card number 14. Yeah, that's the thing about this channel, about me. I love to hear others' experiences because personally, I feel as though just sharing our experiences is helpful. Even if it just doesn't matter. It activate if you feel called to share. Doesn't matter. And if you don't want it to be recorded and shared on the YouTube channel, that's fine. I used to have a real strict rule about that, but I don't anymore, um, because just the act of speaking it out to another puts it in the field and allows it to permeate. Uh, but in truth, if one can and is willing, I love to do that because you never know when you are a translator for someone else or an activator for someone else. And so it happened while working with the Thoth deck. Some sort of portal opened, a similar experience that I had on the eclipse earlier in the year. I was in 100% coverage zone. I'm in Arkansas. Ooh, I always wanted to visit Arkansas because I understand there's a lot of energy in Arkansas and under Arkansas. You know what I mean? Okay, so I love this deck. Actually, this deck was gifted to me by James, and I just adore this deck for all the artwork and how it inspires me to read. I really do feel like you're having again that Azoth energy. It's a part sacred marriage within of water and fire. Um, the male, female, the whole thing, it can be represented in many different ways. Richard, good evening. I'm so glad you could join us. So, the key phrase here is I am astonished by the beauty of life in all its facets. Temperance brings respite after the storm, a soothing balm in any situation. It suggests when we take the time to balance the various elements and energies in our lives, we will find a clear pathway to our goals. This card embodies the nature of healing and moderation, self care and self knowledge. We became whole when we acknowledge the difference. We become, not became, sorry about that. We become whole when we acknowledge the different shades and colors of our personalities, understand their needs, and accept them. When we cease the internal struggle and stop arguing with reality, if we know the exact blend of energy required for any given situation, we can walk with peace. Traditionally, the artwork visualizes a maiden standing at the edge of a pool, one foot on land, the other in water. She pours the water of life from one cup to another. The cups represent the subconscious, intuitive powers, and the superconscious, universal God mind, and the water blends their realities and ideals. Mine is different, a strongly perceptive androgynous being floating in the universe, a time slice of frozen light, delicate and fleeting, energy and form rising, and the whole scene in balance, so finely held and attuned that if one slightly shifts either way, the image would collapse in on itself. For 1 second, everything is in balance. The exquisite is revealed and then disappears, reminding us that we ourselves are frozen light moving through space that too will quickly disappear. A reference to Kirlian photography used in Bowie's Earthling artwork captures the phenomenon of glowing. Oh my God. This is so weird. It's back. It is so wild. Okay, we have to pay very close attention to what is being said here for some reason. Hold on a second. Oh my gosh. I feel like if I could take my nose off and set it over to the side, it would be helpful. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ah, okay, something about Kirlian photography in the Earthling artwork captures the phenomenon of glowing colored electrical coronal discharges, hinting at the proposition of auras surrounding all living things. Well, I was talking about that energy bouncing back and forth between the two hemispheres. Temperance says you have integrated many hard won lessons and have a lovely degree of maturity and wisdom, consciously learning how to balance and calmly address the different elements, values, and priorities in your life. Slowing down, you too are able to capture the majesty of life, the extraordinary in the ordinary, a time of rebirth. Seeing with fresh eyes, you marvel at the miracle and beauty of creation all around you and acknowledge that the pain you have endured in life was a necessary catalyst for this freedom. You are releasing the past and stepping deliberately into the present, aware of the dance and union of opposing forces, light and dark, with the divine. Your inner voice is guiding you. Trust it. Respond to challenges with restraint, flexibility, and a deep commitment to success. This is a brilliant time to combine forces and work with others because you have the steady, balancing temperament that can bring out the synergies between others with a magical mix of talent, experience, ability, and skill. Seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary, exquisite balance, a period of rebirth, slow down and view the world with fresh, magical perspective. Trust your intuition. Wow, that's a really good card. I'm really, really, really would love to hear uh more about what happened. If you were willing, I would love for you to come and have a conversation with me. James said, if you take choline bitartrate and inositol in the brain, and it combines to be acetylcholine, it balances the two hemispheres and allows exchange of data back and forth freely. That's interesting. I've taken it for years and it's kept me from being in 100 places a lot once. And I guess that's at once and gave me more focus. Wow. Michael said, thanks, James, for getting that. Yes, I'm so grateful to James for sending me this deck as a gift. It was something that I wouldn't have been able to get for myself. I've seen it but not looked too closely at it. Not a Bowie fan. I love that card though. I'm a big Bowie fan, but for me, the artwork in the cards helps me again focus, right? I take the meaning of the cards into account, but it also helps me, where I'm drawn, what I hear about the artwork, that sort of thing. So I just adore this deck. There's a lot of dimensional depth in the cards, so every time you see one, they look different. That is so true. Ah, that's wonderful. Michael said, thank you, Sheila. I have the answer I need on how to proceed forward. Oh, absolutely. Please do reach out to me. Just include your time zone in the email so I'm aware of where you are. And if you give me at least 2 to 3 days and times that would work for you, generally I can find one of those that will fit in my schedule. So that would be lovely. Wow, that is so awesome. Well, Michael was my last one, and I've been here for almost 2 hours, not quite. So if there was nobody else that wanted a card, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up. And thank you guys again for coming here and sharing, your time with me. And I'm gonna put this out here again since we have 8 folks in the room. Um, I do, and if you feel so inclined, that would be lovely. You can send it to hashtag Corona Rising, which is my Cash App, if you like, which was the name of the last channel I had that they tried to take down. But yeah, that would be lovely. But it's certainly not necessary. I'm actually very grateful to you guys for showing up. So thank you for asking that question. Um, but in truth, like I said, your being here is enough for me. I also wanted to say though, get it off of there. Um, I'm going to put this out here again. If you've had experiences that you would like to just have a conversation with me, you can take a look at the conversation I had with Jonathan Skinner, which we just had this. Good gosh, was it just this past Sunday when we had that conversation, Jonathan? I don't know if you're still here. Oh, thank you for that, Michael. I appreciate that. I think, personally, I feel as though we all have these. It's just whether or not we're going to believe it and then also take the time to develop them. And for me, that's why, I really appreciate you guys showing up because in fact, you are helping me hone my skills at listening to me because I've gone way too long on this planet without trusting myself. And so getting that in hand. So if you'd like to have a conversation, whether it's recorded and shared on the channel or not, you can reach out to me at consciousconversationcentral@gmail.com. Also, if you feel drawn to have a personal reading, I do those. I don't charge for things. I take care of myself in that. I'm not overrun by, and trust me, I carry a field of transparency. So is it only folks who are ready to be, well, what is it? Crystal calls me a catalyst. So be sure you want to see yourself before you before you hang out with me, because that's all I want to do is get to the bottom of the truth of who I am. And believe you me, that penetrates out. So I see on the free version of Zoom, a person can record a Zoom meeting. That's true, you can. This is the one thing that I did make sure to keep for myself. When I ended up being alone and have such a fixed income, it is in my budget to make sure that I have a paid Zoom account so I can record for much longer. As a matter of fact, I'm recording now. Yeah. So, because I want to put this over on Sassy Seer Sheila, which reminds me, if you are seeing this after the fact on Sassy Seer Sheila, which is my standalone channel, and I highly suggest that you come over and subscribe to New Light Streaming Love, only because it's becoming more difficult for me to keep up with the two channels. I have to upload twice. I have to, it's just a lot of work to do the two. Myron, hey, how are you? I'm so glad you could make it tonight. I'm getting ready to leave, but if you want a card, I'll stick around. Yes, I will be happy to read for you. Um, I am going to finish what I was saying first, though, because I don't want to forget. I'm also interested in starting another book club. I have one that I'm a member of right now that we're reading, The Kabbalion, but I really want to start this set of books. And I also have the experiential guide as well. If you've not ever read this book, um, and I'm not sure how to find, it used to be on Prime for free, but now I can't find it anywhere. The Celestine Prophecies was made into a movie, and I've only ever seen the movie. I hadn't read the book. But I truly feel like James Redfield felt what was coming. And I feel as though we now, honestly, I feel like this is a very real thing. Um, a lot of times I feel like writers, they get, it comes from source, it comes through their imagination, and they think that it's make believe, but it's really not. And so Michael said, I love that book and the follow up. That takes me back several years when that like 90. I'm sure that it was, but honestly, I know that I have the Celestine Prophecy, I have the ninth insight, or the 10th insight, um, also the Celestine Vision. There's several books in the series, and I did find them used, and I purchased them all. And I really want to do this in company with folks. What I learned in the during the Joshua channelings, which is another book that I recorded that's on the channel here. All you have to do is start the playlist at the first and go all the way through. One of the most validating books I'd ever read, but reading it in company is very I don't know, it allows me, and I'm sure it will feel this way to others, I get more out of it, if you will, when there are others, because it's like whatever data you're carrying around in your fields permeates into mine as well. Being a projector, my aura seems to be able to pick up, um, from those around me. And so I just love that. Yes, we're reading the Kabbalion in my book club group. Um, I'm not certain. I don't know if that's one I could read and safely and put up. I kind of feel like I'm taking my chances with this one, to be honest with you. Although this book right here, which I am recording right now, um, was sent to me by a viewer, and it is freely available on the internet in a PDF form. And it's also freely available out there with an AI reading it. And I just don't care for those sorts of things. I like to read it, and I put my own little 2 cents in there when I feel to. So you can look for this one to, and then this was this one too, very validating. So when I'm nudged to do that, no, I'm not splenic. I'm emotional, but apparently sometimes I act like splenic. I don't know how to understand. Human design is something that I'm just looking into, and um, so we're speaking on James Redfield. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's wonderful. Oh, is this still live? I thought we were asking about James Redfield. Yes, believe it or not, I am still live. And I'm going to read for Myron. So I was going to leave because I just returned from the Peace Corps, and in 1 week, 3 different people told me about the book. So I bought it and read it. I'm telling you, I haven't read it. All I did was see the movie, and man, that's why I went ahead and found the books used and purchased all I could find. And then when I realized, hey, wait a minute, there's a a workbook too. So just got home on my bicycle. Oh, that's cool. What kind of bicycle do you have, Mark? I used to be I used to have only a bicycle for transportation when I was 16 to 19, and we used to go grocery shopping and everything. We were a 3 bike family. We had a three-wheeler, a 5 speed, and a 10 speed. Okay, Myron, did you stick around or did you leave? I hope you're still here. Mm-mm-mm. Can I just say that Schwinn? Okay, awesome. Ever since I found out that cacao, well, I think they said chocolate, but I think cacao is the best for that. Stimulates stem cell growth. Ooh, that's an excuse for every little bit of powdered cacao to go in everything. Okay, Myron, you remember the drill? I'm going to step into your field now. Is that okay? Ooh, okay, wow. The minute I say that, I'm going to say good night to everyone. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. I look forward to getting your email, Michael. Don't forget to email me. Sanctuary 7 building into the e-bike. Okay. The minute I stepped into your field, I had to step right back out because for some reason it just was very dizzying. So I don't know if you've got a lot going on or I'm still in there now, so it's like I had to get you I had to get I had to step out. Um I do feel like there's something new that if it hasn't already started for you, it's going to. I'm feeling that thing again, but this time on both sides of my. Okay, so I'm going to explain this. I don't know if you were here for me telling this once before. I kind of feel like part of the evolution that we're experiencing on the planet is the way it keeps being shown to me is a widening of our communication superhighway, which for me runs through the spine. It's sort of like our central nervous system. And so that's what this is indicating to me because it's both sides of the back of my neck and it feels like that whole feeling of widening. So I don't know if you've had anything that you could point to um, that you might classify it like that, and it may not be something that's already started, but because I was having that feeling of something new initiating in your field, and I had that really dizzy feeling. That's what I'm going with there. So I don't know. Let's see. Good night, Andrew. Contact me, love, when you're ready, because I'm here and I'm just waiting for you. Going from a dial-up connection to ultra-wide broadband up and down. Yes, very much so. Yes. Okay, now who wants to come out and play with Myron? Okay, the Sacred Forest wants to come out for you. Oh, it looks like Myron's getting two because the wisdom of the hidden realms also wanted me to grab them up. I've had a glass of well, I don't know that that could be why I was instantly dizzy in your field. Could be. I haven't had an alcoholic drink in good gosh, probably 2.5 years. Not for any other reason other than I've been sort of dehydrated, so I'm not going there, but I don't know. I do have a feeling though that something is going to initiate in your field that has to do with um, the widening of that communicated that whole superhighway thing. Because I think any one of us that on a soul level um, is choosing to move through what I'm calling embodied ascension, because there are, for me, I kind of see it as this is something that's never really been attempted before. It might have been attempted, but it's never, I don't think we've ever made it this far, is kind of the feeling I have. Like I finally feel like I'm ready to move away on my own. Okay, awesome. There has been a spark that has come back inside of me, is how I can describe it. Well, that's lovely. I love that. I love that for you. There's been a lot over the last, I'm going to say 2 years for me. And I've noticed a lot of folks, right? Like I was saying that I'm here, but not here. I wasn't very active on any channel, whether it was Sassy Seer Sheila or this one. And I have said that I'm doing this for me, and I do what brings me joy, and only what brings me joy. So if I wasn't drawn to do it, then I wouldn't be doing it. I've never ever said it any other way, as a matter of fact. I say it in exactly that way. If I'm not drawn to do it, I'm not doing it. Um, because I do this for me. Oh, I actually am kind of interested because the very last time I pulled a card from this deck, it was this card that came out, which is kind of interesting. The key word to this frog spirit, but the key word is renewal. Very interesting. Let's see what it has to say. It's card number 20. So it says, a large golden brown frog sits heavy on a lily pad in a still pond as a warm, sleepy dusk dissolves into night. Its deep, sonorous song reverberates through the rising chirps of crickets. The chorus of the frogs is raucous and joyous, seeming to echo loudly in your soul. A gaggle of tadpoles lurks at the edge of the pond, hidden and safe, waiting with expectant patience until their metamorphosis occurs. The frog's three stages of development, egg, tadpole, fully formed amphibian, symbolize renewal, resurrection, and transformation. This card speaks of a profound restoration of your life that is occurring. And what did you say? Like, finally feel like I'm ready to move away on my own. Isn't that interesting? It's never too late to begin again. Oh, heck no. I'm 63. It's never too late. If your past was less than successful, remember this. What has occurred does not need to mandate what will occur. You can start out fresh and new. However, if you do what you have always done, you will get what you've always gotten. In order to reboot your life, you need to do things in a different way. Abounding good luck is activated and awaiting you. Reflect on the varying symbolism of the frog in different cultural traditions and see if any meanings resonate for you at this time. In ancient Egypt, the frog symbolized birth and rebirth. In certain Native American traditions, frog medicine is healing by virtue of its transformative life. The ancient Celts believed frogs represented healing because of its connected connection with water and the way it transforms from tadpole to adult. In China, the frog is a powerful symbol of prosperity, healthy childbirth, and good luck. The spirit of frog says be willing to release any preconceived notions of how life should unfold. This is a time to be adaptable, be willing to change. Abundance and good fortune will follow. Oh, wow. That's really good. Let's see. Jane said, I lost any trace or craving for alcohol about 5 years ago. That was supposed to say, oh, any taste or craving for alcohol. You're 26. Okay. That's a really cool age. Such a baby, Myron. Markley, I've had to shut down a lot of my psychic ability, part of a massive review and rebuild. Do you pick up anything? I wasn't, but I will be happy to. If you stick around, I will step into your field next, Mark, because Myron was my last card. Myron said, I literally was having a conversation with myself this morning, going to work from two different perspectives, one from the mature one and one from the not so mature. Well, I get it. And, um, if you're ready, the mature side told the immature side, we have to do things differently to be successful. Well, see, you can trust that side. That, my friend, sounds like you're getting in tune with a part of yourself that, um, you know, has your best interests at heart. I know that I love the way my housemate, Lisa Flamino Rush, puts it. Her soul speaks very quietly. And I know that mine does too, right? It's a subtle thing. There's no pushing, there's no meanness. It doesn't speak to me, with any kind of contempt or, no, it's only my ego, only that part of me that doesn't trust me or anything else that speaks to me that way. Doesn't have all of my best interest at heart. Let's just put it that way. So, and it is different. I'm like, scream at me, and it's just so subtle. That's right. And it won't ever scream. It won't ever be like that. That's part of the reason why I ask you guys to come here and help me, because that's what this is doing. You're helping me tune in to me. You think I'm tuning into you to a degree, but honestly, I'm tuning into me. When I say I'm asking the larger, greater portion of me to tune in to the larger, greater portion of you, and those two communicate, and then I give you what I get. And for me, that there can be no other way. This is the only way for me. And I'm so appreciative that you show up every time you show up, and I'm so grateful. Okay, so the hidden wisdom deck, card number 18, which is a 9 numerologically, meaning the end of a cycle. Gaia's Garden is the card. Let me get it up here, and we shall see fruition, abundance, reaping what you sow. In Gaia's garden, you have everything you need to make your dreams come true. There is no shortage of anything, and you're constantly reminded of the law of supply. Gaia is the infinite spirit manifest in all tangible things. She represents the abundance of nature. When she comes to you as your ally, she invites you to partake of all the blessings of life. There will always be enough for everyone. I think that's true. I think it's actually misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, and outright lie that there's not enough. That's not the truth. There is more than enough. There's actually too much. Look into that because that's a very real thing. Success comes to you from the fruits of your intentions, and all is well with the world as a result. This is also a sign to remind you to give thanks and maintain an attitude of humility and gratitude as your greatest good now manifests for you. Gaia's gifts are sweeter when you share them with others. Ooh, isn't that lovely? Oh, wow. She's wearing a double cornucopia on her head. So that's really interesting. Well, I love that for you. I hope that was helpful for you, my love, because boy, oh boy, it seems like you're really, and listen, I was nowhere near any kind of, I wasn't even approaching being awake at 26. Are you kidding me? Are you joking with me? I had, let's see, I had a 5-year-old and I was a parent on my own. So trust me when I tell you, I was nowhere near even questioning who I was and what life was about. Oh no, I was still in very much in a victim mindset, right? So I hope that was helpful for you, my love. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, Mark Lee, are you still in the house? I'm really interested, and don't answer now, Mark Lee, but I'm really interested, if you're willing, again, same as with Michael. Um, I'd love to hear more about why you had to shut down a lot of your psychic ability. Um, but not now. Not right now, because right now you've asked me to feel into you, and so I don't want to taint that. Okay. So I'm going to step into your field now. Wow. As soon as I step into your field, I feel like I have to take a really deep breath. I'm having a little bit of heart palpitations, so I don't know if maybe you're experiencing um I'm made aware of okay, so what I'm about to say, I'm gonna share, I'm gonna step back out of your field for a moment. I'm aware of beings that have shared with me, having had some situations where there were issues with their heart, and so they sought medical attention. And what they were told once they finally got in to see the cardiac folks, which took like over a month because there's apparently a lot of this going on the planet right now. The terminology was that they were experiencing a normal, abnormal heart rhythm. Anybody else find that a fascinating statement? How do you get normal and abnormal? Well, I'll tell you, because there's an awful lot of people presenting with an abnormal heart rhythm that they can't point to where what's causing it. It's not anxiety, it's not, these other things. And so for me, I kind of feel like, isn't it possible that this could also be a symptom of an evolutionary change, both in consciousness as well as the physical vessel? I mean, if indeed, like what the book that I'm going to point to the book again on the channel here, the Joshua channelings, if what Joshua said in those channelings is so, that what we're doing here is moving from an ego based consciousness to a heart based consciousness, then it kind of goes along with, for me, that there might be some heart chakra openings, right? That may be, just maybe, that might have a little bit of 3D that you could actually point to. Now, please let me just say this. If you feel to be seen by a medical professional, by all means, go and see a medical professional. I would be the last one to say not to do that because that's not how I roll, that's for certain. Now, but I also feel like, I mean, because I know that they used to say 120 over 80 was normal blood pressure. Now, all of a sudden, apparently it's 140 over 85 or 90 is considered normal. That's either a Mandela effect or they've changed it because way too many people are presenting with higher blood pressure. Well, again, if there is some sort of electromagnetic field communication going on from the sun to the earth, guess what? We all have electromagnetic fields. It would seem to me that it's very possible that it could also be affecting our vessels. Personally, I've gotten the internal guidance that our bodies are changing as well. I know mine certainly is. Although I'm 10 years older, I don't look like I'm 10 years older than I was when I was so very ill just 8 years ago. So I don't know that for me, you know, that's so I don't know if you're experiencing anything like that, but that's kind of the thing that I was feeling as I was standing in your field. Now, let's see. Yes to psychic. I'm 69. I've been through a lot. My heart isn't really bad. Slight right hand bundle branch problem. I remember many incarnations. I'm good heart wise. Okay, so I guess maybe then what I was experiencing is something that, if indeed you begin to experience something like that, for me, and everybody has to feel into it for themselves and trust your own intuition where that's concerned. Never trust somebody else's intuition or advice on anything like that. Always go with your own. Okay, so who wants to come out and play? The Dreams of Gaia Tarot wants to come out for you. Very strict low carb diet. All right, awesome. Well, I tell you, um, diet and exercise really is very important the older we get. And I don't move nearly as much as I need to. I know that. And well, ooh, and I think we've got an issue going on in this house, which is part of the reason why we're moving. Okay, so, oh my word. Okay, wisdom came out for you. This is indicative of the Hermit card, but it's also kind of interesting in that, wow. Okay, we got a couple of things going on here in this card for me. Because one of the things I heard was, um, there's a cloak here. Not okay. I didn't get wolf in sheep's clothing. No, not like that, but something similar, right? Like there's some sort of cloak or coat that, and you've donned it yourself. It's not something that's been placed on you. And maybe this is partly what you were alluding to with having to shut that down. Like perhaps that's what this is, right? An attempt to back it off or to protect self in some way. I'm not sure if that's what this is or not. I'm going to pull it out and see what it has to say. Cat O nine tails. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Because this is a very interesting deck, the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Um, it too is very different than the regular deck. Okay, the key words, of course, um, knowledge, understanding, awareness, self knowledge, illumination, introspection, withdrawal, insight, common sense. Um, there's some key phrases here too. You are here to become wise. Knowledge doesn't make you wise. Wisdom is learning from one's mistakes. The second of the 8 primary reasons for being is to acquire wisdom. While a person can have great knowledge, if they have no understanding, and I'm going to say understanding, that knowledge will not make them wise. An individual may possess a great capability to retain facts and information. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because that's exactly what I feel like the education system is. If you're good at retaining facts and regurgitating them, you're in like Flynn. You know what I mean? Because that's really what it seems like our education system actually is. It's we'll tell you what we want you to know. You memorize it and then regurgitate it back to us and we'll give you that piece of paper. Um, just my thoughts and feelings on that. Um, an individual may possess a great capability to retain facts and information, but lack the ability to truly process what they've learned. Some say wisdom cannot be learned from a book. I say that. It is something that is learned through experience. True wisdom is born of understanding our experiences. Wisdom stems from learning from one's successes and mistakes, one's trials and adventures, one's gains and losses. Wisdom is born of awareness and discernment that allows you to judge the best course of action. In most situations, wisdom is the application of knowledge, logic, and common sense. That's really what we're here to do, right? Is to experience and live those experiences into wisdom. Wow, what are we talking about here? Hope everyone has a good rest of the year or the rest best. Oh, that's so very sweet. Nothing happens by accident, not even me, just stepping into this room to say hello to you, whoever you are, and for what you already pull. Thank you so much. My eyes just, oh, how sweet. Experience trumps certification. Oh, so true. I'm worrying a lot of people copied and pasted their ways and to having self-entitlement over all of us because most people who tell me anything have no right to anything. That came out a little wrong. Well, don't worry. I think I'm gathering what you are saying there, but more correct than miss you, Mom, Suzanne. Aw, I miss my mom too. I understand. I got to be honest with you, Mark Lee. I have this feeling, and again, I'm going to make that offer to you the same as I made to Michael. If you would like to come and have a conversation with me, reach out to me at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. One of the purposes of this for me has always been to engage in conscious conversation with those who are willing and desirous of that. Um, Partly because, I learned so much from those conversations myself. I enjoy them. I really do. And I also have been contacted by an awful lot of folks. I know it doesn't seem that way because this channel is relatively sort of new and there's really only 100 subscribers, but Conscious Conversation Central had over 1,500 conversations on it and more than 2,000 viewers when it was removed from YouTube because I said words that I shouldn't say. Words that they were monitoring for back then. This is, circa 2021, so I'm sure you get my meaning. And but I'd had a lot of viewers that would write and comment and say that they got a lot out of our conversations. And just being open to considering new ideas and hearing different experiences opens something within the being. So, if you're willing, I would absolutely love to have a conversation with you. I hope this was helpful. I kind of feel like um, you already know um, what's going on, and I wouldn't doubt yourself. Now, if you've shut it down out of fear, well, then maybe there's something that I could even help you with that. I'm also a BQH practitioner, so just let me know if you're interested in that. Kat said, "We are infinite. We have meet, and meet again." Yes, so true. Lots of shadow work. I'm busy trying not to be scapegoated by lazy corporate slumlording managements. Too true. I understand. Well, I'm so grateful that I don't have to worry about that. Now, I lead a very um, you know, fixed income life, but that's okay. I want for nothing. The universe provides. Well, I guess that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up, for gosh, I can't believe it's already been 3 hours now. Um, And again, I'll just put it out there, and this is for anyone who will see this later as well. If you're watching this on Sassy Seer Sheila, it was not live. I put that up over there after the fact. And if you're watching it now on New Light Streaming Love, please also go to newlightstreaming.love and take a look around on the website. There is a lot there. And if you want to have a conversation, send me an email, consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. And I guess the last thing I will say is um, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you, because it really is a matter of perspective. And if you don't find the perspective that you're viewing very joyous, I would invite you to take a step back, breathe a little bit, and maybe step over to the side. See if there's another perspective that you might be able to find a little bit more joyous than the other perspective. Until we meet again, my friends, mwah. I will be back tomorrow morning live for the morning mojo. And be well, my friends.